Hi, I'm Will Kelly and you're at the Shop of Hard Knocks. Today I'm going to show you around the do-it-yourself Lapsteel guitar that we've been working on for the past two columns. Started with a plain 2x4 of some old reclaimed pine I had and ended up putting together this little beauty. It's really simple. It differs from traditional guitar building in a couple of significant aspects that really appeal to the beginner or novice builder. Number one is you don't have to do any fret work. The frets are merely lines in a plastic fingerboard that help you place the steel or the bar slide accurately, but there's no frets. They don't have to be level, crowned, polished, all that stuff. The other thing is there's no neck contour. You've just got a square block neck. And the third thing is that you basically don't have any intonation to set up. You know, you've got a flat radius bridge and a flat radius nut, so the strings lay flat. So if you're starting out with a build, this is a really great way to do it. Let me show you some of the critical aspects of a Lapsteel guitar that may help you get a better tone out of your own project. For a Lapsteel to sound like a Lapsteel, you really need to place the pickup at the bridge position as physically close to the bridge as you can. As you notice from picking your own guitar, the closer you pick to the bridge saddle, the brighter and twangier the sound gets. However, traditional Lapsteels use single coil pickups, and I wanted to put a humbucker in here just to get a bit more of a rock sound to it. We used a 22.5-inch Fender scale, which is traditional for the vintage style Fender Lapsteels of the late 40s and 50s. And then for a headstock, I chose a tapered headstock that reminds me of an old Weissenborn Lapsteel like Ben Harper plays. It's just an aesthetic choice. You could go with a square headstock or anything else you so desire. And as far as the body parts are concerned, you could just build a straight steel with no body wings. However, I wanted to kind of emulate a Rickenbacker a little bit, so I added some guitar-ish style block wings on each side of my neck at the body position. The fingerboard is made from a single piece of plexiglass that has aluminum foil glued to the back with fret lines and position dot markers drilled or scratched carved into the rear. So the top of this fingerboard is completely flat, glossy, and smooth, just like a normal piece of plexiglass would be. And you get all your markings and coloration from working on the underside of it. Gives you a nice, clean, finished, professional feel. This bridge design was something I created from an old Gibson TP6 fine-tuning tailpiece. It's got 6 individual rollers that fit onto a steel rod that goes the width of the front of the bridge. And each string rests on its own individual roller. And then we've got 6 individual fine-tuners that press down on the string to adjust the tuning and pitch, slightly up or down. Not a lot of adjustment here, but when you're playing a Lapsteel and you don't want to take your left hand off the slide, it's a great way to get just that little bit of tuning or pitch correction that you're going to need. We've got a single master volume control that is mounted through the rear control access cavity here, and then we've got a single output jack that's drilled into the side of the body. Very plain, very simple electronics, nothing fancy. Most people don't really use a tone control on a Lapsteel anyway. In order to properly fit tuning machines on the rear of your peg head, you're going to need to thin out the peg head. So starting at an imaginary line roughly approximately directly opposite where your nut is placed, start a gradual taper starting at about a 7/16 of an inch all the way up to about a 5/16 or 3/8 of an inch here. Give yourself enough room so that the shafts protrude far enough from the face of the peg head for the strings to wrap around properly. All these other choices as far as binding and color choice and taper and peg head shape, those are all things that are left up to you and your imagination. Well, now let's get down to it. We're going to take our do-it-yourself Lapsteel guitar through its paces. Okay? Now remember, we've got a humbucker bridge pickup, but it's positioned dead straight up against the bridge, so you're going to get as bright and as twangy a sound as you possibly can out of a humbucker. But what you end up with is this. Not bad. But the cool thing about this, and the reason I put the humbucker in it, is this. With a little distortion pedal, you're in David Gilmour land. While I'm no steel player, I can certainly appreciate the myriad of styles and tones that this one single homemade instrument will create for you. Didn't cost hardly anything. It was a lot of fun, a couple afternoons of work, and it's something that you'll always keep and treasure as doing yourself. Anyway, my name's Will Kelly. You've been at the Shop of Hard Knocks.